All right, crew, strap in because we have some absolutely massive news coming straight from the developers of Wuthering Waves. Kuro Games just dropped another one of their dev talks, and guys, this isn't just a small patch preview. They're teasing what might be the biggest evolution for the game since it launched. We're talking about a complete visual and gameplay glow-up. And with the 3.0 update lurking right around the corner, this could be coming to our screens way sooner than any of us expected. In this dev talk, they laid out their vision for the future, focusing heavily on visual upgrades, slicker animations, and some serious gameplay evolution, all leading into that massive 3.0 version update. But before we jump into the rest of the events, a quick word from today's sponsor. Lootbar.gg is a site that gives you big discounts on your in-game purchases. Let's take Wuthering Waves as an example. You can actually see the price difference right away when you compare. The process is super simple. Pick the pack you want, click Top Up, choose your payment method, and that's it. Your rewards show up right on your account. And don't worry, your login info is completely cleared after the transaction, so it's safe. New users can get up to 21% off plus additional discount coupons from the link in the description. And yes, first-time top-up bonuses are available as well. So, in this video, we're breaking down every single teaser, every hint, and every ambitious plan they shared. We're covering the new combat styles, the revamped exploration, a huge focus on a pet system, and so much more. Let's kick things off with the upcoming visual upgrades because honestly, this might be one of the biggest takeaways from the entire presentation. Kuro stated straight up that they are gradually refining the detail and quality of, well, everything. We're talking about character animations, the NPCs we interact with, even the creatures roaming the open world. What does this mean for you, the player? Expect your entire experience to feel much more fluid. Movement during exploration and combat is being tuned to feel smoother and more natural. But it's not just about your character, it's about making the whole world feel more alive and immersive. They specifically called out ultimate animations, combat visual effects, and how all these flashy elements connect with each other visually during a fight. This got me thinking about a specific character who already plays with this idea. Augusta, remember her? We've seen her hopping onto her griffin mid-combat. She doesn't just summon it for a single attack, she literally rides it. And that seems to be the new direction. Kuro wants these creatures to play a much larger, more integral role in gameplay. They don't want them to just be a one-off animation. They want them to feel like genuine partners, fighting alongside your roster of resonators. So one of the key things they're working on is deeper creature interactions that tie directly into combat mechanics and even environmental reactions. And with the 3.0 update being the next major milestone, the timing for this kind of systemic overhaul makes perfect sense. It really sounds like they're building towards a full-scale visual and interaction overhaul to coincide with the release of the next major region. Now, this next part was particularly interesting. The devs took a long, hard look back at the Renosa region. This was a major focus of their discussion. They admitted that when they were first developing Renosa, their ambition was huge. They had a ton of creative ideas that, frankly, they just couldn't fully realize because of technical and systemic limitations at the time. But now they feel they have the technology and the underlying game systems in place to finally bring those original ideas to life. This means we can expect more complete and detailed environments, world building that feels more interconnected, and a much smoother integration between the three core pillars of the game: exploration, story, and combat. So, what's the timeline for all this? The changes are going to start rolling out in the next few updates, with 2.8 setting the stage and the big, seismic shift clearly being targeted for the 3.0 version update. This isn't just a one-and-done patch, this is a new foundation for the game. Now, let's get into the really juicy stuff. Character gameplay. Kuro teased some incredible concepts they're cooking up for future resonators, including things called sub-weapons and a major expansion of pet-based mechanics. This isn't entirely new, they've experimented with it before, but they explicitly stated they want to reintroduce and expand these systems for new characters. Think about what we've already seen in the game. We have Baiji, a rectifier user whose little pet can handle both healing and attacking. There's Jinxie, who primarily uses her sword but can call upon Joey to fire a massive spectral beam. We've got Lumi, who uses her companion almost like a deployable turret. And let's not forget Encore, who fights alongside her two little willies. The developers clearly have a deep affection for this companion system. They've been hinting at pet-assisted combat for multiple updates now, but the message from this dev talk is clear. They want to make it a central focus for the 3.0 resonators. We're potentially looking at companions that interact more deeply with your character's own abilities, becoming a core part of your kit rather than just an accessory. But that's not all. They also dropped heavy hints about dual forms. And honestly, this might be one of the coolest mechanics they've ever touched on. We already have some fantastic examples in the live game. Calcharo has his standard mode and his devastating ultimate form. Chengli is a bit different, but she gets a whole new set of animations with her masked ultimate. Kamalea has her overclock form. And most recently, we had the huge release of Cardia, who undergoes a full-blown transformation into her boss-style form. The devs said they want to bring back more of these mechanics for the 3.0 roster, especially combining dual forms with the new pet system. Just imagine it, characters that transform mid-battle, completely swapping their fighting style and gaining entirely new attack patterns and combos. If they successfully combine this with all the visual and combat upgrades they're planning, these new 3.0 characters are going to look and feel absolutely insane. So, what's the big picture here? This dev talk makes one thing incredibly clear. Kuro is aiming for the 3.0 version update to be a massive evolution for Wuthering Waves. This isn't just about adding new content, it's about fundamentally improving and expanding the entire gameplay loop. They're going to be polishing all the animations, introducing more unique character gameplay via pets and transformations, giving creatures in the world a greater purpose, doubling down on experimental mechanics like sub-weapons and dual forms, and even implementing new systems we discussed in a previous video, like the new part break system for bosses. Let's talk about that part break system for a second, because it's seriously hype. It seems to take a lot of inspiration from games like Monster Hunter, where you can target specific parts of a boss, like a horn or a tail, break it, and that action permanently changes the flow of the fight. That adds a whole new layer of strategy to boss encounters. And then there's the co-op revamp. This is huge. They're working on a new system where you can bring your entire team of resonators into co-op. They're also exploring entirely new game modes, built from the ground up for cooperative play, and even new events where you can team up with friends or other players for some seriously rewarding challenges. They might even test this new co-op system through a limited time event first, gauge our feedback, and then make it a permanent fixture in the game. That is a fantastic way to develop a feature. When you stack all of this together, it's looking like the 3.0 update could easily be the biggest one yet, and potentially the first real next-gen jump for Wuthering Waves since its launch. The best part? We don't have to wait for 3.0 to get new content. The journey starts very soon with the 2.8 update, which is bringing us two highly anticipated characters, Chaiza and Bulling, with Chaiza being a particular fan favorite. Before we transition into the massive 3.0 release, we're getting these two new resonators, a new map in 2.8, and a bunch of other goodies. There is a lot on the way. It's very clear that Kuro Games has been listening to player feedback, learning from their first year of live service, and preparing to deliver something that will push Wuthering Waves to an entirely new level. If they can actually pull off everything they teased in this dev talk, the future of this game is looking incredibly bright. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think about all this info from the dev talk? Are you hoping they go all in on more characters with the pet system? Are you more excited for the unique, transforming, dual form characters? Or maybe it's the new sub-weapon types that have you intrigued? Let me know down in the comments. Which of these teased features are you looking forward to the most? Is it the Monster Hunter-inspired part break system, the co-op revamp with its potential for new game modes, or just the general visual and animation overhaul that's going to make the world feel more alive? Seriously, let me know your thoughts down below. If we get any more news on this, and you know we will, I'll be sure to update you all right here on the channel. But for now, I think that's all the info we have for today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out. We've got a crazy week ahead. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.